Now we're going to move into the next part, because the universe works as a vacuum. Most of you understand that? When you release something, you have created a vacuum. And you got to be careful, because if you don't name now what it is that you want in 2025, the universe is just going to pick it randomly. And I don't really want that. Mary Morrissey in her Prosperity Plus teaching says there's the law of specificity. And that means be specific with what you really do want, because the universe wants to give it to you. But we have to vibrationally match with what we're asking for. And so this is a key to it. But before we go into this part, I want to just tell you about the god Janus. That's where the month of January comes from. It comes from the Roman god Janus. And Janus is about beginnings. You see up there on your screen? Beginnings, change, gateways, and doorways. Take a look at his figure here. Look at two sides, right? One is looking at the past, one is looking at the future. Letting go and looking at new beginnings. This is why we named the first month of the year January. So I want you to know that January is, like I said, it's about the mythology has two faces. Janus looks to the past for perspective. Janus looks at the past for perspective. If we can look at what we just read it with perspective, then you move more looking into the future with hope, looking forward to new beginnings. And that's what this next part of the service is about. And let's look at that lovingly release slide again, Sandy, can we? Yeah. So we lovingly released what no longer serves us, right? Now we said bye-bye to it, but lovingly release it. Think about, I know for me, when I start thinking about things I want to release, there comes up this anger sometimes in me of certain things. But the key is to lovingly release it, because when we release an anger, what's the saying? That we resist persists. I don't want this to persist anymore, right? So I need to release it in love. I need to release it in gratitude. Thank you for, as Janice would say, the perspective. Look at the perspective of what didn't work and what can I learn from it? How can I do things? How has this, what does Dalai Lama said? Great teacher. Struggles, enemy, so-called enemy. Great teacher. Without them, I wouldn't be, and you wouldn't be who you are right now at this moment. You wouldn't be who you are. So I want you to remember that. So we've made space now. Okay? So let's go to the affirmation that I wrote this week. Let's say this together. As I move into the new year, I am releasing what doesn't serve my highest good and make room for something wonderful to come forth. Want to say that again? As I move into the new year, I am releasing what doesn't serve my highest good and make room for something wonderful to come forth. Let's look at that next slide. What do you want to do today? This is what your little clean white piece of paper is for. Does anyone need another one of those that it may have ended up in the wrong pile, or anybody need one of the little blank pieces? We've got more coming. And one over here. Yep, we got several. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Bob. What do you want to do today? What can you start? This is personal for each and every one of you. I can't really guide this. But how can you move? And I said this on Christmas Eve, and I don't know how I came up with it, whether I heard it or whether I thought of it myself, I don't know. But on Christmas Eve, I said, I'm going to thrive in 2025. And the reaction was just what happened now. People at the Christmas Eve service were like, wow. And I said, as a matter of fact, and I'm looking at our board president, that's going to be the theme for Unity of Garden Park this year. Unity of Garden Park is going to thrive in 2025. So if you want to put at the top of your paper, I'm going to thrive in 2025. Or you can do it this way. I thrive in 2025. Oh, I like that even better. I thrive in 2025. I'm not affirming what I hope to be. I'm affirming what I already am. I thrive in 2025. Now, this again is something personal for you. So I'd like you to just start filling the void now, because you've created a void here within your own beingness, and the universe is waiting. What does she or he want? Because it wants to support you. So if you're showing more anger and angst and fear, the universe is going to bring it to us. So as a human species, as our race consciousness, that means human consciousness, it is so important for us to match vibrationally with what we are asking for more in our lives. So I can ask for peace, but if I'm not acting peaceful, the universe is going to call me out on it, and it's going to bring me more chaos. Because the universe is not listening to my words. The universe listens. Universe, God, good, whatever you want to call that higher power. It is paying attention vibrationally. That, whether you want to call it an entity, whatever energy, does not have ears. It is vibrational. So it is so important for each and every one of us to hold the vibration of what we want more of. So just, if you're led to start writing on that paper of what it is that you want more in 2025, go ahead and just take a moment to start writing. This paper is going to go home with you. So I hope that it is an ongoing. You've got how many more days now? What is it, the 29th? So we have the 30th. We got 3 more days, actually, if we count today, to start putting these intentions on your paper. It's 2-sided, so you got plenty of room. And if you journal, put it in your journal. This is important. It's important. You're important. So I want to go with that next slide, please. What a thought. Spend more time with people who bring out the best in you, not the stress in you. Right. How much time do we spend on a phone or even on Facebook or texting or Snapchat or whatever it is that you do with people that bring out the best in you, or the people that bring out the stress in you? Choose your time wisely. That's what Nick said in the movie. Choose your time wisely. Because every big thing and every little thing makes a difference. So I'm about to close this talk for today. And I think the most important thing I wanted to say to you today is what I've already said. And maybe it's worth repeating again and again and again and again. The universe is vibrational. You can give it lip service all you want. But if you're not in vibration with what you're saying, it ain't going to happen. People come to me for counseling, and so many times, why isn't this prosperity thing working? Why am I struggling so much? And it's very hard to get people to move their vibration when they are down that low. You agree? You know people like this. You may have even been in this situation yourself. And you remember how hard it was in those times. That's when we need us, light bearers, to be out there in the world the most. Because our job as light bearers is to help. Our job is to help, grab a hand, help. Even if it's just a smile or to hug somebody. That can shift consciousness in somebody right there. Right there. Sometimes you'll see me hug someone and you'll see me hold on. Why? Most of you empathics, and actually you're all empathic, know this. I can feel that something is shifting as I'm holding them. So I'm not going to let go unless they need me to let go. Because in that moment of kindness, of compassion, something shifts. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes. You are light bearers. You wouldn't be in a unity church today if you did not believe that you had a bigger purpose in this world. And I'm so about encouraging you to go light the world. The world needs light. An awful lot of fear out there. Awful lot of fear. They need us now more than ever. That's what Santa said to Cal. They need us now. Because why? Because the adults have forgotten that little boy and that little girl in us. We forget. We forget that little child that was so innocent and got injured or hurt way back when, and we've covered up thinking we're protecting that little child, that little innocence. Our job is to let our innocent little boy and girl out and be in more joy. Because when you're in joy, it's infectious, isn't it? Yes. It truly is. I want to be around joyful people. I'm telling you, Christmas Day night, Christy and Mike and the kids were over, and we were playing games. I laughed so hard. I haven't laughed that hard in my life. My belly was hurting so bad. Have you ever laughed like that? Yes, we need more of that. We need more of that. Can you imagine what that vibration did outside of our house? Because you don't see it, but it's happening. It's moving the web when you are in joy. I got to stop because this is another whole talk. So with that, I want to just say, oh, yes, I'm going to bring this. I want to say this. Hopefully, I read the I Am, and I hope you take that home because that is so important about staying in the present moment. And if you haven't read Chip the Monk, this is all about the new year. Chip is born, and he's afraid. He's a little chipmunk, and he's afraid, and everybody is telling him he's being called to be the light, to be the change that the world wants to see. And he's like, no, I'm too afraid, because he's listening to P-Brain. That P-Brain keeps telling him all the things he needs, who he is not. And at the end of the story, I shouldn't tell you, but it's okay, because there's multiple books coming, because this is Chip the Monk, and now Dolly the Llama is out, and Holy the Cow is coming next. It is the cutest daggone book, but it is about how you deal with P-Brain. Because we all have P-Brains, blah, 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 blah in our life, don't we? Yes. I opened my news app again this morning, and there's a lot of P-Brains out there. That's one of the things, my goal is I'm going to pay attention to how much social media I do. Why do I take my phone in the bathroom? Why? Have you ever heard of such a thing? But we're doing it, aren't we? Scrolling, see who else is on Facebook, scroll some more, there's a recipe, scroll some more. I'm sure there is a way, and I'm going to find out how to document how much time I'm on social media a day. My iPhone will do it, right? Somebody's got to teach me, because I want to document how much wasted time I'm spending versus going out in the woods. Yeah. Out in nature. We've lost it, people. Let's get back to it. Namaste. The Christ presence in me truly sees and honors that Christ presence within each and every single one of you. Namaste and Happy New Year. Amen. Thank you.